Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Labo. That kind of fell on its head, didn't it? Of course, it made sense to make the steering wheel peripheral compatible with the Nintendo Switch's best-selling title. It meant people of all ages could get a bit more of a laugh out of a cardboard wheel. Okay, I'm gonna level with you right now. You're hearing the second draft of my script. The first one was, I've got to be honest, it was kind of boring. I was going to talk about the links between Labo and Mario Kart when it came out, and how it's not suitable for competitive play, it's just for a bit of a laugh. But you know what? While I was researching for this video and getting some footage, there was something I noticed. Everyone was using it wrong. So you know what? F it. Competitive players, use this. And I'm going to tell you why. Hello fellow gamers, and if you are a competitive Mario Kart player, I'm sorry, but you've got to get good. So the question that's probably on your lips right now is, why? Well, it's simple really. For one, it is more difficult to use. I mean, aiming your weapons, drifting, avoiding other races on the track, all of these things are harder compared to using, say, a Pro Controller. Also, it's something a little different. I mean, I imagine even expert players must be finding it getting a bit, kind of samey and getting kind of tired of winning all the time, you know? I'm just making a guess here, I ain't an expert. And yeah, Labo kits are typically a bit more expensive than some would like on release, but you know, many of them, including the steering wheel, are now considerably cheaper these days. So if you really want to prove yourself as an expert Mario Kart 8 Deluxe player, go get your Labo kit, spend a relaxing 6 hours building the wheel, and go give it a whirl. And here are 5 tips to get you started. First of all, the positioning of the acceleration pedal is important. The pedal doesn't work like you'd think. It's not progressive like in a normal car, though my god I wish it was. Instead, you only need to push it down a little bit to get full acceleration. Pushing it further down triggers a jump and you'll drift. So what you want to do is this. Place it slightly further out than you feel is comfortable, and a tiny bit more to one side, the left or right, depending on your leg. Because of the sensitivity of the pedal and its on-off acceleration nature, this should work in your favour. This way, you have to stretch out with your foot just a little bit further each time you want to jump or drift. This may sound like an inconvenience, but trust me, it means you're less likely to jump or drift accidentally. Hold the wheel at arm's length wherever possible. You're going to need a comfortable driving style, even if the steering wheel is made out of cardboard. Keeping it held close to you, like in all the footage I've seen, means you'll be scrunched up, uncomfortable, and won't be able to react quickly. If your legs aren't long enough, have the wheel on a flat surface in front of you instead, like a table, lap desk, or tray. Don't worry too much about the wheel getting away from you though, because as part of building it, you place these felt-like feet on the bottom. Hold the wheel properly. This isn't some leisurely drive down the M1, and you don't need to pay attention to the highway code. So why is everyone seen using a Labo steering wheel holding the wheel with both hands? Stop it. You're making it worse for yourself. Instead, firmly grasp the wheel at the top with your dominant hand and steer using that hand alone. Now this will make the wheel unstable when turning, so hold the body of the steering wheel with your other hand. I find the best way is to gently grasp the engine part around the corner with your fingers going into the gap left by one of the larger levers on the main body. These aren't used in the game, so you don't need to reach them anyway. This will help keep it still whilst you're vigorously turning. Keep your driving hand at the top of the steering wheel and try not to turn any more than 90 degrees in either direction. You've got to remember that it's the infrared camera in the right Joy-Con doing the work of the turning for you. And turning more than 90 degrees will do nothing for you. Be kind to the horn. When playing with the Labo steering wheel, the horn in the middle of the wheel is used to fire any weapons you've picked up. You'll be doing this a lot, so be kind to it. You see, it's pressing on the R button on the right Joy-Con, and those shoulder buttons are small and kind of fragile. In fact, outside of the analog stick drifting issues, it's one of the most common breaking points for a Joy-Con. While we're talking about items, it's a common tactic to hold an item behind you whilst you're driving, to protect yourself from any attacks from behind. However, when you're using the Labo Steering Wheel, this would mean holding down the horn button. Doing so makes the steering a little tougher, as the wheel doesn't move quite as freely with it pressed down. Remember to always use your engine holding hand to do this, keeping your main steering hand in place. Oh, by the way, you also can't shoot shells backwards, so bear that in mind as well. If at first you don't succeed, modify. Don't forget, you can modify your Labo Steering Wheel. If you decided to use the wheel and are having difficulty keeping it in place, or using the horn, or maybe you're naturally turning further than you need to, you can adjust it to suit your needs. Now, I've not modified mine, so I can only give you a few ideas off the top of my head. Let's say, for example, if you're having difficulty keeping the wheel on your lap, consider trying some durable table leg pads from your local shop, or even fitting suction cups if you're using a table. If you find yourself overturning all the time, modify the wheel with any strong bit of cardboard you can find in order to gently remind you to stop turning too far. Or if you're really adventurous, you could even turn to 3D printing or laser cutting to replace any parts of your wheel that you feel are letting you down. That's the beauty of Labo. You're free to express yourself and do pretty much whatever you want with it. So there you go, there's a few tips for you to be able to get a good handle on the Labo Steering Wheel on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I hope that perhaps one day we're going to have a whole subsection of professional Mario Kart 8 Deluxe players who are brave enough to just use the steering wheel. But my question for you this time is, are you brave enough to use the Labo Steering Wheel the next time you're playing a Mario Kart 8 tournament? Let me know down below in the comments to see if you're up for it. As always, please leave a like or dislike, depending on how you felt of the video, and there's always that subscribe and ring the bell nonsense that everyone seems to be doing at the moment. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.